Hi there, thanks for joining me today. You may have noticed a setup here. We're going to be doing some gilding wax. I had to pop out this morning. I had to sign, be a guarantor on my little granddaughter's passport. It was up and she needed a new one. So I went over and did that, and we read a story together, and oh my goodness, can the carrots. It was fun. Anyhow, this one was, I always worry that one day is going to be the day that a beloved singleton either goes permanently missing or dies, and I love this tiny little brush for inking. So I couldn't find one just like it, but this feels like it'll be okay. Sometimes you've got to get into little cracks and crevices. So anyhow, I got that. But I found this at Dollar Tree, and it's very similar to these, which I like. I got a new one of these because they can start wearing away, and you can get these little crumbs on your work. So, but Dollar Tree had these, and I wondered whether it would be nice to have a handle. So, just for a change, I got one of those as well. Plus, I wondered if that little point, you know, if you could get in. We'll see. I'll let you know. Anyhow, so I've already got it set up. So I'll explain what I've done. I'm using my bricks this time because I really want it solid, so it's not in my napkin holder. And I've taped off on the spine the areas that I want to use gilding wax on. And once the gilding wax is done, and I've just eyeballed this, so we may pull up this tape and find out they're crooked. I hope not. Let's see if I can turn this so you can see. And it probably doesn't make sense to you, but it will when I pull up all this tape. And then once we're done that, we will, I'm going to make a template and poke the holes because I'm going to do faux signatures, faux signature threads on this spine. So let me grab my gilding wax. Oh, where did I put it? I tidied up in here. And of course, tidying up means, where did I put it? I'm going to pause and go find it. Okay, found it. This is just this brand. I don't know gilding wax. I took a chance, ordered this on Amazon a couple years ago, and crossed my fingers that I'd like it, and I love it. So if you're interested, go back and freeze frame and find it. I find with gilding wax, I like to keep wet wipes handy and ready to go, because it's messy, and once it's on, it's on. So if you get it on your fingers, you want to get it off your fingers quickly. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to be gilding the foot, the head, and then I'm going to put 2 bands, just random bands. So it keeps for a long time. This is still very moist, very pliable. And I know I say it whenever I use it, it smells fantastic. Now I want a paper towel. I can't remember why I want it, but I'll remember when I need to use it and I'll go, I need a paper towel. So we'll figure out when that is, won't we? So I'm using, just using a cotton swab and rubbing it on. And I'm not worried about it looking brand new. And in fact, if it looks too new, I am not averse to taking my sanding paper block to it so that it can look a little more, have a little more wear and tear on it. Oh, that's why I needed the paper towel. See, I knew I'd remember. I want to burnish it. I find once it's burnished, it's pretty trustworthy to not be messy, but if there's even one tiny little gloop, the gloop will still be live until it gets rubbed in. Alright, so here's the head, the top of the book, spine. Hope you're all doing well. We had my son and his fiancée over for breakfast yesterday. That was nice. Finally getting to see them. Everyone was sick over Christmas. Everyone. He was sick. So that's why we didn't get to see them. And then they all have different work schedules, both of those two and my husband, and so this was actually the first time all three of them, I'm the flexible one, was the first time we were able to get together, and we really enjoy breakfast. So we had a nice breakfast together and caught up and wished each other a Merry Christmas. I don't know if you're like me or not, but getting together is more important than it being the day. So we had little gifts for each other, just little ones. Little I love you gifts, we don't go overboard. It was nice just to see them. Alright, so there's that. Now I've got to keep in mind, I want to make sure that I don't put gilding wax where I don't want it. Not good. That's good. Alright, so I want it in here and in here. I'm going to start over here. Don't take my word on gilding wax and gilding wax application. Don't even consider this a tutorial. I've never properly been instructed how to do this. This is called the by guess and by golly method, or the swag method, as my beloved late father-in-law used to say, the swag method. Scientific wild blank guessing. But so far it has worked for me. I think this is going to look nice, and I do think I'm also, before I sew the faux signature threads, I do think I might put a faux old library label on it somewhere. I'm really tempted to just dip my finger and get in there. That looks a little fortunately it's quite pliable, and with old books quite forgivable. We're looking for we embrace the ugly, right? The homely, the grungy. That's what we love. If you're interested in further adventures of Catherine playing with gilding wax, look through my old videos from a while back and look for the book I did on Gilbert and Sullivan, because I did gilding wax on that spine too. Also, I did gilding wax on the spine for Wren, W-R-E-N, and I also did gilding wax on the Victorian Reader. So go hunting for those and enjoy. And just, for some of them I'm terrified while I do it. So I think one of them was live streamed. I believe I live streamed it, and I was terrified the whole time. I'm not so scared anymore. I'm getting pretty comfortable with what I know it will and won't do, but I still get nervous about like a chunk of it falling off where I don't want it to be, because there's no going back if it does that. Then you've just got a chunk of gilding wax where you don't want it. That looks pretty good. I think I'm happy. Oh my goodness. I know I keep saying it, but gosh, I love the smell of this stuff. Alright, so I throw it out right away. Or in this case, oh gee, see, I almost touched this onto there while I was going for my chair. I buy the kind of cotton swabs that are cotton and paper, so they can go into the blue box. Now there's a little chunk of wax here. I'm going to get that off. There we go. And now I'm just going to give my fingers a wipe in case I got any on my fingers and I wasn't aware of it, because I've done that as well. And then I've touched what I was working on and gone, oh no, how did I get wax there? Alright, so, and you can see my father raised me well. Everything gets labeled and from different directions, because sometimes it's in a container that if, like this was in my drawer for a while, well I needed to be able to see from the top down, and if all I could see was a black lid, it would force me to have to lift it up and see what it is. So that's how it got labeled there. And then it got put up on the shelf beside me, so then it needed a label on the front. It's labels everywhere. Let's re-fold this for a fresh side and burnish. And now while I'm doing this, I'm thinking in my head, I need tracing paper. Where did I put my tracing paper? Let's burnish this, and let's hope they're approximately the same size. I don't care if they're symmetrical. It's going to become such a wild mess. Pardon me. Once there's threads and a label, and it isn't going to matter. Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm looking while I'm doing this to decide if anything's going to need to be touched up or not. So now that I'm working on this, I am enjoying this purple tape. It wasn't cheap, that's for sure. If this was anything else but gilding wax, I would reuse this tape for other things. But sadly, gilding wax, no, you can't trust it not to still be live. So it has to go. Yes. Now, let me see. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy. I mean, I want it to look old and worn out. The original text block, boy, it sure is handy. Hang on to them when you're still working on books to keep the shape for your spine. So that, yeah, I'm happy with that, and I'm actually happy with how worn it looks. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it looks nice and worn. Now, I don't know why I took that out, because I still want to work on it upright. So this is going back in. Oh. Alright, well, we could use you in something else. Alright, so there we go. You can actually just vaguely see the old title there of The New Worlds to Conquer. For some reason, it faded. It must have been gold at some point. Alright, now I want to find the spine I created. Oh boy, did I do some house cleaning yesterday of children's books that I know I won't use anymore. So fussy cutting things that I think I will use, and donating books that I never ever cut into. And that's actually how I found Tango to take over. There once was a point where I thought I might want to make a... thought I had a spine ready for it. That's how I found Tango and thought, oh, I know. Oh, here it is. I know the family who would love the book, The Story of Tango. Alright, so there's the new liner. But I need tissue paper, so hold on. Okay, let me move this over. So, what I want, yes, of course it doesn't fit. So, we'll do what we have to do. I want to make a pattern because I want to poke the holes for my signature threads from the outside in, so I can see where they are going rather than from the inside out. I want to be certain that they are where I want them to be, and you really are guessing and hoping. If you poke from the inside to the outside of the spine, I've made that mistake. And you can poke from the inside out and then flip your book over and find out that your holes are not centered. I just want to cut a bit of this off so I don't lose all the tissue paper, and then I'll work with this and cut it down to size. I'm going to put 9 signatures in this book, but I'm going to put 7 faux signatures on the spine. So, and I'm okay with that. My thumb is in the way. And that moved it. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to write top for my own sanity, but this is not going to end up being identical to, this is going to go on the inside eventually. This is just going to help me know where to poke when it's time to poke. Let me see. And I'll probably be using my purple tape again, top and bottom, just to make sure. Yeah. Alright. Now with this, I'm actually going to fold it in half so that I know I've got it centered. And then I just have to worry about the other lines where they're going to go. There we go. So now I know at least. Look like that. It isn't. It isn't. Ho ho. I wrote my word top too close to where I need to work right now. My lighting's not very good right now. My overhead desk lamp here is too bright, even though it's a ring light, and I don't like the light it shines when I'm taping, but because it's snowing outside right now, I'm not getting very good natural light from my window, which I usually get. I usually get more than enough light, natural light, from my window over here. Okay, so now we've got a center. I'm thinking back to my Gilbert and Sullivan, my photo that I have of it. And those signature threads I sewed in as if those were I believe, a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And I think I'm going to do that again, even though the interior will not be a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And I'm okay with that, because this is just pretty. This is only for decorative purposes. Now, in the case of Sybil, I did put the holes actually where the signature threads are inside, even though they're not the actual. Let's see if I can show you. So if you're new here, you know what's she talking about? There. So these are in the exact place where these are coming out, even though they're not the actual threads. But I'm not going to worry about that with this book. This is purely going to be pretty, and we're not going to worry about it being where the interior signature threads are. Alright, I want my 0, and let's see what we've got here. See, that doesn't look centered. Oh, yes it does. Okay, so if I need 3, 1, 2, nope. 1, 2, nope. Okay, I have to turn off the camera and do this without the camera going, because I can't do math with a live camera going. It makes me even more nervous. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to get this done, and then I'll be back. Phew! Okay, we did it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll look like 5 pamphlet stitches. 5-hole pamphlet stitch. You know what I mean. So if we get you ready. And this will go across here. I'm going to have to make sure, because it looks like I haven't made it long enough, but I can tape it in place so it's fine. Yeah, that will look okay. That'll look pretty. Alright, so what I'll be doing, because I'm going to explain it now, and I'll show you the next time we get together, because I'm already at 30 minutes. I'm going to be taping this down, and I'm going to be using my, and it's gone. How many times a day do I say that? And it's gone. There it is. My awl. And I'm going to poke the holes in so that we can get started sewing it. I'll try my best, but sometimes I do better sewing off camera and then explaining later, kind of like show and tell when we were all in kindergarten. Sometimes I just do better that way. So but we at least got our nice gold bands on, and I think that looks really nice, and it goes nice with, thank goodness this gold stayed, even though you can just barely see the old title right there. So, and I still have to figure out, before I can sew in, I have to figure out the label I want to put across here to make it look like an old library label. So that's that. That wasn't terribly exciting, but it's not all bells and whistles. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day, and we will be together again at some point this week, and hopefully I'll be a little bit further with this, and hopefully I'll have worked a bit more off camera in making her a little bit prettier. I'm not going to overstuff her, because she's just dainty and delicate, and the new owner should have room to do that. So take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon. Bye.